If you've ever felt drawn to the beauty, elegance, and grace of women like Princess Catherine, but you thought that it was out of reach, then this is the video for you. Today, I'm diving into 5 ways that you can embrace classical femininity and elegance, and you can make these shifts today without ever spending a dime. Welcome back to the Swish, where together we celebrate and explore classical femininity in trends, traditions, and lifestyles for an elegant and inspired life. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. I am so excited to share with you the Swish Magazine Summer Edition. We've worked so hard on this. It is an amazing guide for you to really understand what classical femininity is in summertime specifically, but through guest contributors, through featured interviews, checklists, guides, all kinds of stuff right here for you. And it's not about trad wives, it's not about boss babes, it's about the truth, goodness, and beauty of womanhood. So make sure to check that out. You can click the link in the description. You can find it on the bar below this video, or you can go to theswishmagazine.com to order now. So let's start with the first thing, step 1, and that is to cultivate your presence, not a performance. Something we talk about quite a lot on this channel, and it cannot be better exemplified than the difference between Princess Catherine and Meghan Markle. And that's because true femininity, it isn't a costume. It's actually a total alignment with the truth, goodness, and beauty of womanhood and all that that means. So there's things that you can do to really lean into this, and of course that really starts with who you are and your own confidence, but I believe that leaning into classical femininity is actually going to bring you a brand new type of confidence that is totally different than what the world says, because the world says that it's all about just taking up space. We'll never forget Katy Perry literally in space saying that. But it's actually about your own alignment. And that physically means, tangibly means, working on making eye contact, your own posture, and listening fully as well. And poise really begins when you are not trying to prove something or demand things or rush around trying to make it about you. This doesn't cost any money. It's all about embracing truth, goodness, and beauty, and anchoring yourself in something bigger than yourself. So we call this the elegance principle of symmetry, but it doesn't cost a thing. You can simply make sure that you are confident in who you are in something bigger than yourself, and it's not actually about you, ironically. Now, step number 2 is in the way that you speak. As amazing as Princess Catherine is, we actually don't hear her speak very often, and I think that that actually adds to the allure of who she is. The great classically feminine women, who are surprisingly sparse today, but we're working to bring that back, don't actually have a ton to say all of the time, because when they do speak, it's very intentional in what they want to express. It's not about trying to impress anyone. However, using thoughtful, articulate words is a really helpful way to solidify your position and your thoughts, and it's not just meant to bring fluff and try to make you sound impressive. Replace filler words with thoughtful phrases. So pauses can be scary. It can be a little bit frightening to not know what you're saying in the middle of a sentence, but using words like and like can actually detract from the message that you're trying to bring. So be thoughtful about those words and the tone and the pace and the warmth that you're trying to bring. You don't necessarily have to have perfect grammar. These days, the only place you actually can engage with perfect grammar is in reading. We don't have that in texting, we don't have that in social media, but it's okay to not have perfect grammar, but just be confident in what you are trying to say. The third thing is creating a signature rhythm. So once you have your confidence rooted in something bigger than yourself, you're speaking elegantly, you can start to thrive in a rhythm and intentionality. So it's important that you know who you are, but creating habits that really embrace those things is really, really important. So Maybe that's just a morning or evening routine. Reading classic literature, making that a routine for you. Creating a rhythm of engaging with things that are truly beautiful is going to take you to be thinking about things that are not just debased, but are really, really beautiful. This forms your atmosphere. Our environment is really 50%, if not more, of the way that we're going to be thinking subconsciously about things. So be mindful of your environment if you're wanting to engage in classical femininity more and more. So unfollow those accounts on social media that are really bringing you down, that are talking about things that are not uplifting. Maybe they're just being really negative all the time. Of course, engage with all kinds of broad discussions, but unfollow those accounts. Don't engage with friendships that are going to be unhelpful to you in that rhythm. Really, femininity thrives in peace. And that is a great segue into today's sponsor, Ana Lucia Beltran Diamonds Jewelry Cleaner. Thank you so much, Ana Lucia, for sponsoring our channel and our business. Now, what you may not know is that there are a disgusting amount of germs on your jewelry. When I discovered this, oh my gosh, I just was disgusted. And there's so many everyday jewelry cleaners that you can use, but the truth is, a lot of those have really harmful chemicals in them, and you don't want that on your skin. So Ana Lucia recently created this beautiful jewelry cleaner that so many of you in our audience have gotten to try out and are absolutely loving it. It's the perfect thing to bring to a bridal shower, or if you know somebody who recently got engaged. Isn't this beautiful? It looks like a diamond. It makes your bathroom beautiful if you put it on the counter. But all you have to do is take your jewelry. You can take it, by the way, it smells like rose petals. You simply do a little spray. Ooh, if it will go like that. So spray it. And then I have my handy dandy brush here. You can literally see I use it all the time because it is dirty. But you simply take it and then scrub. And then you've got this. Look how much I've used this. I've gotten so much dirt off my jewelry. And you just clean it off. And voila. It is so easy. It's such a beautiful, delightful way to add beauty into your routines. I could not recommend it more. But you get 20% off that and all of her jewelry by using code SWISH20. So click the link in the description. Get rid of those germs. You don't want to have that around you. And engage in something that's really, really beautiful, which is part of the message of classical femininity in your environment. Step number 4 is mastering the art of subtlety. This is something that has been really, really lost in today's zeitgeist. And it's because femininity isn't about being loud. That's kind of been the mantra for several decades now, that you just need to assert yourself, that you need to be as loud as you can be. But femininity is actually very layered, and it's very powerful when it is strategic. And this has everything to do with body language, with gentle humor, with kindness, with being mysterious in the way that you dress, not bearing it all. You don't have to overshare or oversell everything in order to seem engaging. And this is the problem with the Meghan Markles of the world. They're oversharing everything because they want for us to be interested in them. But actually, it's that engaging strategy of being mysterious. Queen Elizabeth was so good at that makes us really, really interested and engaged. So the art of mystery, the elegance principle of subtraction, and the elegance principle of seduction play really fascinating roles here. So master the art of subtlety and you will embrace your classical femininity. Finally, the 5th step is to lead with grace and not reaction. This is a really hard thing sometimes because there's a lot of opinions, a lot of thoughts that I specifically have, and I've had to learn to have strength under control. That is classical femininity. Instead of just declaring and demanding that we can have our way, there's actually a power to our quiet nature and not reacting immediately. And we can practice this in responding instead of reacting. And especially in conflict situations, this is really what matters, where our articulate rhetoric plays a role. It's not weak to be soft. It doesn't mean that you don't have an opinion. It doesn't mean that you're not engaging in these broader conversations or wanting to react to things that are concerning. But it's power under restraint and being selective in the way that we engage with these things. That is real elegance. It's not about blown up reactions, but actually engaging in a soft way and seeing softness as a superpower. So these are all things to start with embracing your classical femininity. You don't need a wardrobe. You don't need to spend a lot of money to be more elegant. It's really a new type of mindset, and anyone can start there. There's so much more to it, and femininity isn't something that you buy or a costume or acting silly. I think a lot of people think that womanhood's about, being fictitiously silly. That could not be further from the truth. It's really something that you embody in the truth, goodness, and beauty of womanhood. And so we are talking all about that on the channel here, in all kinds of analyses. It's something that I talk about a lot in the magazine, on our website, and more. And I wish that more women would see their femininity as a strength. It is something to celebrate. It's something that is so, so powerful. And these are just some simple ways that you can start doing that today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.